athletes, welcome back. We are continuing our single leg split squat progression, building that strength on each side. We hope that you followed along. We hope that you've done the pre-test. If you haven't, it's okay for you to jump in today because you can always use some single leg. I'm so excited, I can't even get the words out. Some single leg or isolateral strength work because you always have a strong side, you always have a weak side. We got Peter, we got Hayden, and we are ready to build that balance in both of your legs with you right now. Warm-up's coming up next. Athletes, your warm-up is here. We've got 10 seconds on the clock. I need you to find some place or space that you can squat at. We are going in 3, 2, 1, and we have regular air squats right now. So I just want you to take the time to warm yourself up. Find the pace that you need to work at right now. Find that first or second gear because we are just cruising right now. It could be early in the morning, it could be late at night. You could have just worked a 12-hour shift or you could be going into a 12-hour shift, but we want to make sure that your body is prepared to go through this progression that we've got for you today. The next thing that we have are going to be step back lunges. So find a little bit more room that we can go ahead and do a step back lunge on each leg here. Now, when we're going through this, I want you to alternate legs and I want you to specifically focus on controlling your body down to the floor. So imagine that you are step back lunging on stained glass and we don't want to damage that. So I need you to be nice and controlled all the way through here. That front leg is doing the work. If you guys find that you have an issue with balance or anything like that, then we can use a PVC pipe or an item to steady ourselves as we go through this. That is always allowed. But we have the ultimate goal of trying to do this freestanding with no assistance and not even pressing off on that forward leg. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our dynamic squat stretch. So we're gonna put our feet back out where we squat at. Fingers go underneath your toes. And then we're gonna pull those hips down, hips go back up, and then you're gonna stand tall. We go back down, put our fingers under our toes, pull our hips down into the bottom of your squat, come back up, and then you're gonna stand. Now, when we go through this, if you got tight hips, this is very difficult to do. We'll keep cycling through these and thinking about trying to pull ourselves a little bit lower, a little bit lower, a little bit lower. If you are super mobile like the athletes that we have here, not only am I jealous, but you gotta make sure that you only base this off your own mobility. So you're not doing this incorrectly. If you can only get those fingers underneath your toes and pull yourself to this position right here, because we're working on it. That just means you got an opportunity to get better at it, and you're not gonna get better if you don't work at it. So you can throw this dynamic squat stretch into a normal part of your warm-up routine and get a little bit more mobile each day. Next thing we have are gonna be our split squats. So we're gonna use that item that we are propping our back foot on, and we are going to go into a few split squats on each side. Now, unfortunately, the proctors of this exam that is coming up are not allowing me to count on today's lesson. So I will have you guys be counting on your own. So during this warm-up, find a clock. You are not counting by yourself because when you're doing the counting and the workout yourself, you always count a little bit faster. So what we're doing for today is that we're gonna be going through descending tempos, and I'm gonna explain this on our next round of our warm-up, but we're going back into our air squats. So go ahead and hit a couple more reps here. Now we can start to crank up the speed a little bit. We're just gonna go through those air squats, making sure we're getting full extension at the top and getting below parallel at the bottom. We're gonna do a couple more reps, and then we're gonna go into step back lunges. So hit our step back lunges. This alternating, making sure that now we're adding a little bit of speed to it, but we are still controlled. So don't slam that back knee into the floor. I want you guys to keep that chest up, shoulders back, and step back, using that back foot as a point of stability, but that forward leg is doing all the work. Let's switch over to our dynamic squat stretch now. So move those feet back out. Your fingers go under your toes. I always cue that backwards and say your toes go under your fingers. I mean, technically, I guess you could do that, but not today. It's not that kind of show. So we're gonna go through our dynamic squat stretch, pulling those hips down. Now we're focusing on keeping that chest up nice and tall when we get ourselves down in the bottom position, because you know I'm always gonna try to make you a little bit better. Now switch over to those split squats again, and here we're gonna hit 3 on each side and then you can rest. Now while the athletes and while you are working on these split squats, making sure you got the correct positioning, I want you to be aware of how this is gonna work. We have 20 total reps that you are going to be doing during this period. what's gonna happen is that during your first tempo portion, you've got a 6-second negative. So you are gonna count 6 seconds on the way down. Your goal is to try to get 6 seconds all the way through those 20 reps. At the point that you fail your 6 seconds, you are dropping your tempo down to 4 seconds. You're gonna try to finish out the remainder of the reps in the 4 seconds, but if you fail, then you're gonna drop down to a 2-second negative. If you fail at a 2-second negative, then that means you are done with the test. You do not have to do any more on that leg. You'll take a 2-minute rest and then we'll swap over. What we're gonna do for today is that we're gonna go through this with our athletes and then we'll give you enough time so that you can rest with us and then go to the other leg. So one more time as an example, if I'm doing this and I get through my first 10 reps with a 6-second negative and then I start failing, then I can switch to a 4-second negative. If I get an additional 5 reps, which puts me at a total of 15, and then I fail on 16, I switch to a 2-second pause or descent at that point, and I try to finish out my 20 reps at that. So 6, 4, and then 2. So that is it. Now, like I said, I'm keeping you accountable, so take this time to grab your cell phone, put your timer on, put whatever you need so that you can pull it up on the TV. I need you to have something other than your brain that is counting for you, because we always count a little bit too fast when we're doing something that we're not wanting to do, like planks or this single leg split squat. So keep yourself accountable. We're so excited to do this progression with you, so get yourself ready, get yourself set. Your single leg strength is coming up next. Athletes, your single leg strength progression is here. We got 10 seconds on the clock. So go ahead and make your way to your elevated surface, and you are starting out with that 6-second negative in 3, 2, 1, go. Now the hardest part about this is counting the number of reps that you're on, so use one of those hands to keep track. If you want to slip your shoe off real quick, then that'll help you get up to at least 15 when you've got your single leg, and then you can do a double count. Nobody gets that joke, never mind. So we are going through a 6-second countdown here. When the athletes fail, they are switching over to a 4-second negative. When we get done with this leg, we immediately go into our other leg, and then we are going to rest a total of 2 minutes before we hit it again. So you're doing left and right, rest, then left and right, rest. We are trying to accomplish 20 reps on each leg, on each of these sets. So each leg will do a total of 40 by the end of this workout. I'm gonna stop saying numbers because I know it's hard enough to count your tempo and to count your reps. I think Peter's at 3 or 2 right now, but I'm done. I'm just gonna give you quiet words of affirmation. You guys look great. I'm so happy you showed up today. And in a bigger piece, I do like to tell you that when you do get into things like this, because this workout is definitely one of those that's kind of like a brain drain. Like, it's easy for you to start focusing on how bad the piece is versus on the benefit that you're getting on it. So I really want you guys to give yourself a little bit of credit for showing up today, because there's never a bad time to give yourself a pat on the back, because you guys are accomplishing a lot right now. You chose to show up today, and this single leg strength, it's kind of tough. But you're making yourself better, you're finding those imbalances, you're working on getting yourself balanced, and a balanced body is a balanced mind, and it's a balanced life, so you can go out there and do some good in the world. So continue. You didn't know that split squats were that deep, did you, huh? I'm telling you. So now both of our athletes have finished, and they are moving on to their other leg. Now, again, if you fail after your 2-second negative, you're done for those reps. You guys don't have to try and go through that for any more reps. So if you get to 14 and you failed, that is it. We've got both athletes, they've switched over immediately to their other leg. They've pulled into themselves. They are being very introspective, trying not to mess up their number counts here. So I don't want to mess with them, because that is, sometimes I'll do it. Like, I'll give you a bonus round. No bonus rounds today, I promise. But I'm trying to like find a balance between being too excited and being too distracting. But you guys are doing great. So continue moving for me. If you find that your balance is a little bit off, grip the floor with that forefoot, and that will help you balance. You just think of it like you're trying to grip a giant screw with your floor and turn into the floor a little bit, and that will get you some good tension in that quad, in that hamstring, and in that glute. And it always helps turning those toes on to help with your balance. Both athletes are doing their 6-second negative. When they fail, they go to their 4-second. When they fail, they go to 2-second. If they fail at that, then they are done. It is only a total of 20 reps on each leg here for this first set. So you get all the way to 6 second negative, 20 reps, you're done. You get all the way to 20 and you did 6 for 10, 4 for 5, and 2 for 5. I'm trying not to say numbers, but man, they just keep coming out, you know? Athletes are doing a fantastic job. Hayden is done. And Peter is done. So that is it right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a 2-minute rest for both of our athletes. If you guys finished around the same time as our athletes, we're gonna, we got the wobbles already. We're gonna take 2 minutes to rest. And just because I am just as kind as I am cruel in giving you this single leg, I'm gonna give you until 6 minutes on the clock. So we have a little bit of extra time. This is gonna allow the people that were taking a little bit, they were counting correctly on their 6 second negatives and not counting too fast. If you got, you did fine, Peter, I promise. Peter's like actually worried that he was going great. He did great. So when we get to 6 minutes, we're gonna go back starting with that first leg. And then we are going back into the same piece that we did before. So it's starting with your 6 second negatives. If you can maintain that for all 20 reps, that is perfect. That is what we want. If you get to your rep 10 or 12 or 13, and then you can't maintain that 6 second negative, you're gonna drop to 4 second negatives at that point. Can't maintain that 4 second, you go to a 2 second negative. We're gonna go up to 20 reps. If we fail at 2 seconds down, then you are done, so you don't have to go to your 20 reps. We'll switch to the other leg, and then we are done for the day. We got another minute left, so during this time, move around, bend those knees a little bit, think about trying to pump those quads. We got Peter doing the Tina Belcher dance there, like, loved that. So just keep moving for us. If you don't, that was a Bob's Burger reference if you guys have never seen the show. Great dance moves though. So we've still got, in the spring, I think we're doing Kevin's dance class. So very limited signups there. We have a very small session for that just because high quality content coming your way. So we got 25 seconds. And again, take a moment today, if you haven't done it already, and show yourself a little bit of gratitude. Be thankful for what your body's able to do for you during these tests. I know they're hard, I know that they're tough, but it's really cool you're able to show up and do this in whatever modification that you use. We got 9 seconds, so we're gonna be going back into our next set in 3, 2, 1, and go. So this is gonna be a lot tougher now because those legs are already pumped. We are working through that 6 seconds. Both athletes don't know who is counting correctly, and they're gonna start focusing on the other one and not coming up before the other person because who is counting the correct 6 count here? Now they're focused on the other person and they definitely forgot to count their own reps. So where are they at? Who knows? If you don't know what rep you're on, you're back at 0. Athletes are doing a great job of taking a deep breath in at the top, stabilizing themselves, and then breathing out as they stand. But again, back to that gratitude piece. Take some time today and try to take a little bit of time every day to be thankful for what you're able to do, thankful for what you have, because it's often we don't realize what we have until it's gone. So just take a second. Oh no, oh no. Hayden has now fallen behind. You still gotta go 6. Oh. Don't speed it up to try to catch up. We're right there. Peter's starting to get the high wire wobbles. It is okay, Hayden. You did nothing wrong. I need you to forgive yourself for that right now and keep your eyes forward. Literally, stop looking at the floor. No, I'm kidding. No. Good job, guys. Continue with this controlled application of strength that we have for you today. I'm telling you, if you don't do tempo work is no joke. It will make any movement that feels easy really, really difficult. And Peter is done with leg number 1, and then he is moving on to leg number 2. We got Hayden finishing up and then moving to his other leg. Again, we have no rest in between our legs, so we go immediately into it. And this is the last leg for our athletes. They get to rest after this when they are done for the day. Now, your legs are gonna be extremely pumped from this, so please, well, I'm telling you right now, just like your parents tell you wear sunscreen when you were a little kid and you didn't want to listen to them, you got really bad sunburns all the time. I still do that to this day. I need you guys to do the mobility after this because you were putting a massive amount of work on those quads, and I don't want you getting out of bed tomorrow feeling like I can't move my legs because you didn't foam roll today. I need you to take some time afterwards, do the cool down video that we provide, grab a foam roller, do whatever you can tonight or tomorrow morning. If you're sitting on the couch, you're drinking coffee, pump those legs a little bit and get through that range of motion. Get those legs moving because movement will help get that blood flow in there, push that lactic acid through, help us recover, even though sometimes it's the last thing we want to do because our legs are so sore we can't move. Been there. Athletes are moving at a very consistent pace here. We're gonna have to give them a 10 count next time because I think 6 is just way too easy. Hayden is evaluating his life choices right now. Nice, nice, nice. Hayden, you better control that. There we go. We were almost there. Keep that chest up for me. And you better be, there we go. And Hayden is done. And Hayden, how do you feel? Shaking, dog. How do you feel, Peter?
It burns.
It burns. Go see your doctor no, kidding. All right, so great job, guys. We are so thankful for you guys sticking with us on this single leg progression. We do have that retest coming up, so make sure that you are putting in your study time right now, which is doing these workouts, so we can see how you perform on that because we're super excited to hear about your results from that. Peter, great job. Hayden, great job. Athletes, great job at home. Thank you so much for joining us. We got your cool down coming up next, so stick around. Athletes, great job on today's workout. We are so thankful that you joined us once again for this single leg progression that we're doing. We've got this and our hand release push-up strength going on right now, so we are building better, stronger, balanced athletes. We got that retest coming up in a couple weeks, so make sure you stick around because we want to see those results. Now, if this was your first time with us, this was a little bit of an unusual programming because we are right in the middle of this single leg progression. We are looking at trying to build a complete athlete, and all of the Mayhem Athlete programming provides that. If you're not a part of the Mayhem Athlete community, you can join today and get a free month of programming at mayhemathletes.com by using the code ATHOME. You'll find a group of amazing athletes that will encourage you along the way to your goals and make sure you're having a great time all the way on that journey. Whether you're looking at being a little bit fitter and a little bit tougher for whatever life decides to throw your way, or make it all the way to the competition floor, Mayhem Athlete has your back. So join us today. We loved having you today, and we hope to see you again. Now, we got your cool down listed here, so I need you desperately to stick around and take care of your body because it certainly just took care of you, and that was pretty impressive with that single leg strength that you guys just demonstrated. So click on it right here. Please, please, please. And as always, be good, be kind, and join us again for another great day of fitness.